for our Astro Chat. I feel like I'm actually on time. Copper Wolf, don't worry about it. You don't have to say sorry. But I understand your urgency and your excitement for getting your oil, but do not think that I've forgotten you. I haven't. It just takes time, and I am only one person, and I'm doing the most every day, every week. So don't worry. You're stressing out. Don't stress out. Okay. So this week, there are some major astro changes and transits that are happening that are permanent, are lasting. The new moon was only just the beginning of what is to come and what is to be set in place and what is to be set into motion. So the new moon, for a lot of people, and this is debated, energy is so different. Everyone, there at one point late last year, Om Heavily Meditated said gulp. Maya says cute outfit. Thank you, my dear. So it's debated what the new moon does for people, and everyone is different. For example, some people resonate more with the new moon energy than they do with the full moon energy. I personally have always resonated with the full moon. I could see it, I can feel it. The energy is always strong for me, and I've always worked with that. Others prefer the new moon. Some people, some witches like to, and not even witches, but it's just people who like to set intentions in alignment with what's going on with the planets. Some people prefer to use the new moon to set intentions for new beginnings. There is no right or wrong. It's all energy and what works for you. I've set intentions during times when the moon was waning or waxing, even if I was trying to build or to release. Because in that moment, I knew that right then and there is when I was supposed to set the intention to let something go. And it was perfect. And my magic worked every single time. Because I follow my intuition, I follow my feelings. Thank you, Curvy Kells. That means so much. So, the one thing that I noticed with the new moon, and that I want to point out, and that I like to bring into practice, is this space and this quiet time of like reflection and peace and quiet. As much as this new moon is in the sign of Aries, and that's very aggressive and forward and bold and in your face and like, pay attention to me, look at me, look at me, look at me. As much as it is that, you still have to keep in mind that there's an energy shift. There's like a building, a budding. And when we have that energy building up, and that's the nature of Aries in general with that new moon. That's the nature of Aries new moons, is it's masculine energy. It's very forward. If it wasn't for the Aries new moon, we'd all be dragging our feet. None of us would want to take that leap of faith. None of us would want to try. Aries energy, whether you're a Cancer, a Virgo, a Pisces, a Taurus, a Gemini, it doesn't matter. What all of us are impacted by the energy of the cosmos. We feel it down here on Earth. As above, so below. So when you have this new moon and you're feeling certain stuff, certain things, certain feelings, certain nudges, certain emotions, you want to work with that and follow that and honor that despite what the rest of the internet is saying. Because there are going to be a million memes. There's going to be a million people who are going to cram advice down your throat. And ultimately, it's for you to decide and for you to choose, okay, this resonates with me. That is where the source of insane magic and potential and power comes from. Whether you are a witch, or whether you are just working magic and experimenting with magic, or whether you're just setting intention and praying. You always have to follow your feelings and your hunches, because at the end of the day, that's where your power is coming from. Speaking of power, so we have this surge, right, and this new moon. Some people are using it to reflect and quiet time. So for me personally, I do have high energy, but it's channeled, it's funneled. So there's a lot of things that are happening in my environment around me because it's Monday, and that's what Mondays are like for me. But instead of allowing myself to get distracted, I just channel it and power through and move through. The thing that, well, let me take a step back because I'm going to jump ahead like I always do. The one thing that is different about this new moon is the fact that Uranus is sitting right underneath it, right on underneath or on top, it doesn't really matter. But the new moon is conjunct the planet Uranus. Uranus creates surprise. It creates someone who wants to think brilliantly, who wants to innovate, who wants to try and do things differently. Aries already is ready to hit the ground running and to strike free and to be fresh. Aries energy wants freshness. It wants newness. It's aggressive, it's bold, it's forward. When you have when you have Uranus sitting directly on top of this new moon, you have a trigger, you have a catalyst. And this is where people are going to feel like they are ready to break. They are ready to break free. They're ready to have independence. They're not trying to be a slave to anything or to anyone. They know that they have a purpose. They're going to go after that purpose. They want to discover, they want to find, they want to accomplish, they want to achieve. And all of that, if you take the time to sit under the dark of the moon and let everything settle for just a moment, especially after Mercury was just retrograde, everything was kind of jumbled, especially our minds. If you take a moment and sit, everything will start to make itself clear, and it'll be like that bow and arrow. You're just sharpening yourself and targeting yourself to hit the mark. If you don't know where you want to go, then you can go anywhere and end up anywhere. But if you set the intention and focus on what it is that you want, especially now, as we're all kind of entering into this space now of just really like, you're going to start seeing, and I'm going to talk about it in a minute, there's going to be a lot of shedding and releasing, because this old lifestyle, even if it was dope, even if it was amazing, even if though it was working, some things are not meant to last. They're not meant to stay forever in your space, in your environment. Aries new moon energy in conjunction with Uranus says, I need you to get the hell out of here. Like, I need you to try. I need you to believe. I need you to own what you want for yourself and the vision that you have for yourself. I need you to be fearless. If you could have anything in this world right now, if you could picture your life as anything right now, and if you were not afraid to fail and you knew that you would be able to achieve that, what would you do? That's how you're going to take these steps. Now, Uranus is the planet of innovation. What is new for you may be old for someone else. What you're learning, someone may have already mastered. It doesn't matter. It's brand new to you. And it's for you to try it out and to be different and to strike free and to break free of the mold. In my own life personally, there are things that I have done that have compromised my peace of mind, my balance, my productivity. Not because I wasn't doing too much, but maybe not because I wasn't doing enough, but maybe because I was doing too much for everyone. And for me, it's about restructuring and breaking free from those old ways, that old restriction. And even though logically it makes sense to everyone else, because the whole world could be telling me, like, hey, Jess, like, you can hear me say certain things and then the whole world will interpret it a certain way. But only I, the universe, the angels, and the guides knows what is right for me, because they're communicating to me through my stomach, through my gut, through my instinct, through my intuition. Only I know that. And you have to be bold and independent from everything else. It doesn't matter if you're normally a weak person or if you're normally giving and serving to others. You have to step outside of that role sometimes and try something different, because you cannot be a slave to whatever it was that you once were restricted to and confined to. That's what this new moon brings into your life, my life, whether we like it or whether we don't. That's the funny thing about Uranus in general, is that it doesn't care about your feelings. It doesn't care how you feel. Are you kidding me? It doesn't care about your feelings. What? No. No. God, no. It's just, it says like, this is actually for your highest and greatest good. You're not used to it, but get out there. There's something better for you. Try something different. The more that, and it's funny too, because Ms. Got to Love Me just said, I just read that, and she says, know thyself. It's true. And this doesn't require like you being in a hermetic stage, unless you want to be. If you want to be hermetic, if you want to be alone, if you want to be isolated, because that's what feels good to you, do it. But in a lot of ways, it does mean striking out and trying something different and kind of challenging your normal comfort zones. Om Heavily Meditated said, I'm going to call on St. Michael to hold my hand through these transits. Absolutely. St. Michael is the one to call. I actually have him on my bracelet. Shout out to Alex and Annie for creating this little charm. I did an unboxing video, but I just didn't post it up on my YouTube. But St. Michael is my homie since day one. And I am more than happy to show you guys what charms I have on me. Just a reminder, because it is what it is. But anyways, so that's the new moon. That's how this new moon is influencing us now. For those of you guys who are a little bit more quiet and dormant with your energy, the way to access this energy and the way to access this information, I always think, is to journal and to write things down. So allow yourself to kind of revisit mentally and emotionally the things that feel like they are actually holding you back. Even though this is the new moon, everyone is all about, talking about like new beginnings and, reflection or whatever. Use the energy how you want to use it. This is what I would do. So during this time, last night and tonight and the night to follow, tomorrow night, what I would do is if you're not feeling this, and if you're just like, I understand what you're saying, Jess, but I don't feel it that strong, that's fine. You don't have to. But a way to tap into this energy is to journal and to write these things down. So basically, what you want to do is write down your blockages and your fears and the things that you actually feel like confine you. I actually think, saying this out loud, I want to take some time to myself to think more on what I feel personally confines me and restricts me. But so you have those things written down, and then write down what your life would look like if they actually were not there, if they were completely removed on a different paper. And when you are painting this picture of your life, really connect with your feelings, your passion, your emotion. And even if something's like, okay, I want to run my own coffee shop, and I want it to be organic, and I want it to be, Philly's top 10 for 2019. When you say it, your heart leaps and is joyful and is like, whoa, that would be so dope. And then your logical mind is like, that's not possible. Anytime you have that's not possible, write down, I am possible. This is possible. I can make this happen. This is what I want. I deserve this. I am capable. I can do this. And really what it is that you're being honest with yourself, because so much, hold on. Okay, it's Jocelyn. Terry School has helped me so much with trusting my intuition and acting on it. Thank you so much, Jess. Oh, you're so welcome. I was just reading that comment. I'm sorry. I'm so happy to see you, Jocelyn. Yes, Sacred Circle Tarot School students. I love you guys. Anyways, so what was I saying? Oh, when you are honest with yourself and you allow yourself to acknowledge fears, you give yourself permission to destroy them. and move past them. If you keep telling yourself, oh no, I'm not scared of that, and every time you set intention for it, you feel fear, you're not being honest with yourself, and you're not going to manifest it. It's not going to happen. No matter how much you go to other witches or me or set intention, it's not going to happen because you're not honest with yourself. Like, stop playing yourself. You're playing yourself. You do have to get in a space of being totally vulnerable and honest. That's why the sacred space is called sacred, because where else can you be this honest? So, all of the things that act as obstacles, and I'm focusing on obstacles, and I'll tell you why, outside of the fact that Aries is all about knocking through those blockages so that the rest of us, or the rest of you, so you to come to follow, future you, can walk in the footsteps of present you. Thank God for present me for doing what it is that I'm doing now, even though I was so tired, even though I was so broken down, even though I was so beat up, even though I didn't think it could happen. Thank God for present self. So Aries, we always look at it as Aries is the first of the zodiac, paving the way for others. But in reality, that's true. Yes, you can pave your way for others. Yes, you can be a leader to others. But more than that, you are paving the way for yourself. Yourself. You did this for you. You gifted yourself. You did it. You did. Gold star. Fuck yeah. You did it. Do you know what I mean? So that's how you work that energy of Aries. No matter if you're a Capricorn, no matter if you're an Aquarius, no matter if you're a Scorpio, a Virgo, a Leo, you are a pioneer for you, and then maybe others. But more importantly, you. You. I am the Secretary of State says, is there ever a scenario where you find that you cannot break yourself free from someone? In my life, no. I've never experienced that because you have to understand, like, people are connected by a cord, right? So this soul cord. And if you allow yourself for fear or love, and everyone says this as an excuse, like, I love them, I love him, I love her. And that's why I'm connected, because our connection is so deep. The most significant relationships in your life are going to be deep as hell. But for you to stay in a relationship or a situation where you're connected to someone where it is toxic, it is draining, it is not working for you, it hurts you, whatever the case may be, that is no longer love. And it's definitely not love for yourself. You can have love for that person, but the situation, the energy is not love. It's like what's the word? Codependency. It's an inability to trust. It's an inability to allow yourself to take care of yourself, to feel good out of love. Like, I love my neighbor. I love the dude that, poured my coffee earlier today. I love you, dude. Like, that's love. I love my ex-boyfriend. I love my dad. I love the people who disappointed me the most. But I don't stay in that situation because I soul cut the cord. And that is love for me, and it's love for them. I did what's in my highest and best interest, and also ultimately what's in their highest and best interest by creating distance, because you and we create a toxic energy. We do not vibe. We are not meant to be here. So it is up to you ultimately. Now, don't get me wrong, because I have set really powerful intentions and worked magic in my life where I brought in soul connection, like seriously, like destroy yourself type of. And I brought it in because I wanted to, number one, I wanted to experience it. It felt like it was gonna kill me. Full disclosure, and it shook me to my core. But when the relationship was done, and when we needed distance, it wasn't that I stopped loving that person. It was, I need to cut the cord. This relationship is done. So there is a way to cut the cord. I'm more than happy to make that video for you. If you need to see that, just go ahead and email me at BehatiLife@gmail.com. But is there, people who you just simply cannot get rid of? No. If you want to get rid of someone, or if someone is like stuck on you, cut the cord spiritually and they will be released. Ask yourself why you feel like you need to keep them along, if that makes any sense. All right, so I'm seeing, I feel dumb because I don't want to cut the cord. It's like I'm in too deep. Then that is a matter of not being in too deep. That's a matter of self-love, and it's a matter of value and self-worth and investing in yourself and in your own future. It's not that you're too invested in it. It's not that you've gone so far. It doesn't matter. Time is nothing. In reality, time doesn't actually truly exist. That's a topic for another video, another time. Like it's nothing. But you actually have to look at yourself and say, what am I worth? What am I worth? What is my worth? Why am I here? What is my worth? What is my worth? What is my heart worth? What is my health worth? Is it worth this? I love me. I love them, but I love me. And ask yourself those questions. Sit with that for a minute. All right, so moving forward. With the new moon, so that's what this new moon is. My dear, if you want to talk about breaking cords, now would be a great time to cut that cord if you decide. Ultimately, it's for you to decide if you want to stay in that situation or not. No judgment, though. No one's judging you here. We've all probably been there, to be quite honest with you, so love and light. But if you are trying to work on cutting cords, this week would be phenomenal for it, especially if you are working on self-love and self-worth and conquering, facing your demons, because moving forward, see how I tied that in, Saturn's going to be going retrograde and Pluto's also going to be going retrograde. Saturn, the planet, this is what you guys have probably been waiting for, is for me to talk about Saturn retrograde and Pluto retrograde. So Saturn is the planet of restriction, confinement, responsibility, maturity, breaking things down, building things up, foundations, old age, bones, teeth. I could go on and on. Saturn is one of those planets that I guarantee you, watch and wait. Right? As soon as it starts breaking on the internet a little bit more that Saturn's retrograde, because I am talking about it and because other people are starting to talk about it, or the larger accounts are going to start talking about it, watch. Everyone's going to start freaking out and getting crazy and going cuckoo and talking about how demonic and how bad, not really demonic, but how bad Saturn is and how much it's going to beat us up and break us down. My words to you, to all those that are following me now, is when you see that, I want you to step into a space of power, perfect power, and look that post in the face and be like, this doesn't exist. This is not real. Because what happens is, if you allow yourself to get crippled when other people are mentioning their troubles, or mentioning their issues, or mentioning or predicting or speaking into existence the crippling of Saturn in their own lives, don't step into that space. Do not do it. Don't do it. It's going to happen because it happens every transit. It truly does. Same thing with Pluto, same thing with Mercury retrograde. I'm saying it time and time and time again. There are blessings in everything. On the flip side, you'll also see when there's a transit with a more positive planet like Jupiter or Venus, everyone will say, oh my God, this is so good. This is a direct result to this. And they'll start glorifying that. And everyone will start to see the impact. They'll start to feel, good things coming to them. Ignoring the fact that there's some shit that really truly is popping off because Jupiter is retrograde or Jupiter goes direct. So it's ultimately why I'm saying this is because Planet Velvet says, rebuke it. So ultimately why I'm saying this is because Saturn retrograde is honestly one of my favorite times. Saturn in the past has felt like it has destroyed me. and felt like it took my power, felt like it crippled me, like just like an axe, Pluto, definitely. But if I look back at it, it was because, number one, I didn't understand what was going on. Number two, I was being fed lies as far as what to expect. Number three, because I was being fed lies, meaning Saturn's going to be retrograde. You're hitting your Saturn return, Jess. Saturn rules your 7th house of relationships. This is what you can expect, Jess. I didn't know how to work that energy for my highest and greatest good. That's what crippled me. Not because Saturn is a monster, but because I didn't know how to work it. The ancestors, the guides before us, the ascended masters, the people who created like the masters of like major theologies, they looked towards the stars. They looked towards the cosmos, and they studied the cosmos because there's an energy and a connection. So because they were able to do that, they were able to bring certain change. They were able to speed things up. They were able to manifest. They were able to transform and to transition. There wasn't fear connected to it, unless those completely derailed and looked into things way too much. But they knew how to work the cosmos for their highest and greatest good. That's what I want you guys to be able to do. With love, XOX card says, teach us how to work it. Yes, well, you're at the right live chat. Mondays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So basically, what Saturn does is when people see Saturn retrograde, they want to try harder. They want to push harder. They want to try to accomplish because they are scared that everything is going to be taken from them. They are scared that everything that they work so hard to build up is now going to be ripped down. So because they power through, they end up single-handedly ripping things down themselves in a direct response to the fear that they were told and lied to by uneducated persons on blogs, Instagram, Facebook, wherever. What Saturn does is it tries to build up and it tries to restructure. If there are weak areas in our foundation that are not meant to support what you are trying to build long term, Saturn is connected to long term and commitment and investments. If there is not enough support to hold the weight of what it is that you are building, it will say, this needs to be tweaked. I need you to pay attention to this. I need you to get rid of this. I need you to grow at this. I need you to learn more about this. And if you take a step back, and that's what retrogrades ask us to do. They ask us to take steps back so that we can give the planet space to do what it does. Not only the planet, but the universe. You have been setting intentions and working and trying to manifest things. When the planets start making moves in your life and start breaking things down, do not look at it and start to get sad, defeated, disappointed, destroyed. Because exactly what it is that you asked for is working its way into your life. You are actually seeing change. If any one of my clients came to me and said, Jess, I worked with you. You said that I told you what my intentions were. We talked about it. This is what it is that I wanted. This is what it is that I created. 2 days later, a week later, a month later, it doesn't take that long usually, but following that, speaking of bones, following that, my job fired me, but I'm freaking out, Jess. After that, this happened. My relationship broke down. My car broke down. I got in a fight with my mom, but I got a new apartment. I did find this, but I need you to remind me again. So it's like, okay, wait, stop. So before you talk to me, for months, you saw no change. Nothing was changing. And we talked together. I worked this oil for you. And I get why people freak out. I myself do it. My friends do it. And they still call me and text me to this day and be like, oh my God, Jess, da, 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 da. And I'm like, yo, take a deep breath. This is perfect. This is showing me that if you have been seeing dormancy and stagnation for 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, 10 years, and after we talk and after we work together, now all of a sudden things start changing and transitioning, take a step back, girl. Take a step back and keep manifesting. Keep allowing the universe, the cosmos to do what they do, because this is a direct response to what it is that you asked for. Did you guys hear that? That was so weird. Good job. Do you hear them? They're singing. They're like angels walking down the street singing. That's phenomenal. Wow, that's amazing. Anyways, I'm sorry. Someone's singing while walking down the street, and it's opera, and they're killing it. They're killing it. I'm gonna be like, yes. Anyways, easily distracted here. So what Saturn does, like I was saying before, is it breaks down so that you can build up. If you are setting intentions for a long-lasting relationship, and you're currently in a relationship, and it's a fuck boy or fuck girl, pardon my French, and you really like that person, and you start to see them, like, you just start to see things reveal themselves, or they have a conversation with you, that's good. Let them go. Like, actually let them go. The more that you allow and give them room and space, and by them, I mean the cosmos. Let God, the planets, the angels, the guides, give them space. Give them space so that they can rearrange on behalf of you. Like, it's so effortless, because all you have to do is sit back and just be like, you know what? I've done enough. Like, I've done enough. I did a lot. And now it's time for me to kind of like let someone else work. It's like you're running a business, right? This is just an example, a metaphor. You're running a business and you're getting paid and you're on vacation. Like, just let the planets do what they're going to do. So, why people, and just hear me out, you guys, hear me out. If you accept my message, accept it. If you reject it, reject it. At the end of the day, it's going to be you and only you who's going to make the decision. I can only come on as often as I can to tell you. I can only work as much as I can. That's the reason why I do the live chats, because I simply can't talk to everyone as much as I would like to anymore, because it's impossible. So I work with what I have, my tools, and at this point, this is what we have. So when you see Saturn, when people, it's going to happen. I want to name some accounts, but I'm not going to do it because I'm not petty. But when you start seeing them, because it's going to happen, step into that power and be like, this doesn't exist. This doesn't exist. This doesn't exist. I'm informed. I know. So I'm not going to let myself get caught up in this drama. Does it create clicks for them? Abso-fucking-lutely. It's making a lot of clicks, a lot of engagement for them. But I'm better than this. No. I refuse this year to allow the opinions of others and other people's experiences and other people's drama and other people's negativity to stop me from living my best life. Be right back. I'm going to go manifest the shit out of some abundance. Okay? That's where you're going to be at. That's the space that you're going to be at. And then you're going to look over and I'm going to spiritually look you in the eye. We're going to be connected and I'm going to be like, you did it. You did it. You got it. You got the message. All right. So that's number one. Again, so let me just reiterate it again. Let me check my time. I feel like my time is going to be up soon. Okay, we're good. So let me just reiterate it for a minute and boop. Basically, why Saturn retrograde freaks everyone the hell out is because they hear from the world that everything that they had worked so hard to is going to be dismantled, destroyed, removed, and they just go into overdrive to try and fix it. Saturn retrograde says, I need you to chill. I need you to just be aware and to look and to watch. Saturn's going to go retrograde until September the 16th, if I can remember, of this year. So that's a good few months to just kind of like sit back and allow the fruits of your labor to kind of readjust and to evaluate. When Saturn says, focus on this, look at this, that's when you go in and you adjust. All right? It's like coding. It's like creating a website and seeing that there's a few links broken. So your clients are clicking and you've spent years or a year working for this one moment where your shop is open and the people are coming in and the orders are coming through and you're like, sign up for my newsletter, check me out on YouTube, follow me on Twitter, give me a hug because you're my best friend and I love you and I can't believe that we're here and my clients are so amazing and I love you and how am I so blessed and so highly favored. Right? So you start seeing these things and then your clients are coming in and they're saying, okay, hey Jess, I tried to sign up for this newsletter and the link is broken. And I'm like, okay, clickety click, 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 adjustment, change made, updated, we're stronger, we're better, we're moving forward, and I never have to deal with this again. That's what Saturn retrograde should look like. It should look like, okay, let me take a step back. We spent so much time building this. Now I'm going to watch to see what needs to be adjusted and reevaluated. When you start to see relationships, because commitments long term, especially if you want long term, especially if you want forever, if you start to see them breaking down, like just let it roll off your back. Learn the lesson, but move forward. Don't force, don't push. That's when you're going to see mistakes. That's when you start knocking at your own self. Okay? Pluto. This is another one that the entire internet is going to lose their minds over. Pluto is so misunderstood. At one point, everyone's like, Pluto's not a planet. Whatever. It is. It impacts us. Pluto is so like in the dark, in the realms, in the subconscious, in our passion, in our soul, in our soulmates, in our fears, in our healing, in our vulnerability, in our blood, in our core. Deep, 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 deep within karma that we carry from other lives in this life. The karma, the weight of that. We don't realize that Pluto direct is presenting to us obstacles, pain, suffering, struggle, confinement, fear, anxiety, depression, feeling lost, feeling abandoned. Things that make sense to others don't make sense to me. That's like that voice of Pluto. It's the inner child that says, I was neglected. Why didn't he come back? Where did you go? Why am I not good enough? I want love. My heart aches. I'm scared. I'm not capable. I'm trying and it's not good enough. I'm ugly. I don't feel good. I don't feel right. This takes me down. That's Pluto direct. And that is so hard and emotional and tough to hold on to for forever, to hold on to and to sit with. And every time when the lights go off and the world is quiet, you have to sit in your skin and feel what you feel, good or bad. And sometimes there's things that you can do to make it better temporarily. Sometimes there are things that you can do to forget temporarily. Sometimes there's things that can happen that make you feel like you finally moved past it and you've healed, and then something comes in and stabs that wound and triggers you, and you're right back on the kitchen floor, on the bathroom floor, heaving, crying, trying to release, trying to understand, trying to put the pieces together. Pluto is slow. Pluto is methodical. I don't know if that's the right word. Pluto is painful. And all of that is so good, surprisingly. So when Pluto goes retrograde, for some people, depending on their chart, this takes the weight off of that every day. For some people, for the other half, this can highlight that wounded space once again. Now, I know you're like, Jess, you said that this is positive. Yes, I did. But, and how, not but, how it's positive is when you know where there's an ache, where you know where there is a bruise, you can feel it. If I was to, knock on wood, run down into the apothecary and, because I'm excited to grab an oil and to show you guys something that I'm working on, and I trip and fall down the stairs and I have a huge bruise on my waist, the next day I'll have, the next few days I'm like, okay, this hurts right here. And maybe I forgot, or maybe I didn't forget. Maybe I know where the wound came from, but I know that it hurts right here. My pain's not coming from here. My pain's not coming from my head. My pain's not coming from my foot. It's right here. So I can then take, not accountability, but use my personal power to direct myself to the space, a person, a place for that to get healed. And I know exactly where it's at because I can feel that pain. I can feel it. It hurts. I'm suffering right here. The same is true when Pluto goes retrograde. Pluto is going to reveal and uncover certain areas that still create suffering and pain and wounds for you. That's not a bad thing. That is a time for you to pick yourself up and to hold yourself and your inner child truthfully, honestly, and hug yourself and say, I'm going to give you what you need. You have been wanting this for so long, girlfriend. You have been pretending like you're not bruised when you have this wound here, and every decision that you've made up until this point has been in a direct attempt to try to protect and keep anything away from hurting the space more because it's not healed. And you keep walking on it and limping on it and signing up for marathons when you should just go to the doctor and just get it popped back into place or healed and wrapped so that it can finally heal and you can stop cutting yourself out, so that you can stop blocking yourself, so that you can stop canceling, so that you can stop trying to avoid situations in a direct attempt to protect this wounded space. Pluto retrograde gives you the chance to say, look, I fucking value your well-being. I want you to feel good. I want you to stop being afraid. This is you to you. This is you having a conversation with you. This is you investing in your legit inner child. Every single one of us are adults for the most part, whether you're 16, 17, 63, 45, 98, 172. It doesn't matter. Every single one of us is an adult for the most part, but every single one of us still carries within us an inner child. And for a lot of us, that inner child is wounded because life sucks sometimes. And we act all puffed up and mighty and we're like, oh, I don't need anybody. I don't care. Yeah, my friend did that, but she's a hoe anyways. Just the things that we say, Just can we talk? Can we be real? And we say, okay, this didn't hurt me. It did hurt you. And you're not, or someone said something to you and you're like, I never want to feel fat again. I never want to be called skinny. I never want to fail. I failed. I'm so scared that if I fail again, then I will account to nothing. No one's going to help me. No one has helped me. So I have to keep moving. I can't stop, because if I stop, I will lose everything. Pluto reveals that wounded space. So the issue is not the fact that you're a workaholic. It's not the fact that you're overdoing it. It's the fact that no one supported you. No one believed in you. No one cared enough, at least in your eyes, to help you, to lend a helping hand, to say, I'm going to invest in your vision because I actually want to see you happy, and your happiness means a lot to me. And because your happiness means a lot to me, then that means that I truly love you, and this is the way that I express myself to you. So this issue is here, surface level, and you're still operating from this surface level, but in reality, the wound, the spot that needs to be healed is a little deeper. Pluto retrograde brings that up again, and this is your chance to go into heartbreak boot camp. For you to go into, I'm going to take care of myself because I deserve it. I refuse to continue on and attract in these people into my life that use and abuse me or whatever. I refuse to work at this job that doesn't pay me what it is that I deserve because I am scared of stepping out. I refuse to continue to be a yoga instructor and tell people that, you have to take care of your body, and I'm sitting there hydrating myself, and then I go home, close the door, turn off the lights, light a cigarette, and eat a whole thing of chocolate cake and Pringles. Because at the end of the day, it's a mask. It's a mask. It's a mask that you put on. Pluto doesn't allow for the mask. Pluto looks at you and says, look, you ugly little thing, your imperfections make you perfect. You are not ugly. You're divine. God didn't create things to be ugly. Nothing on this earth, even a crooked plant, has beauty to it. Even a broken rock is stunning. You are stunning. You're living, breathing a life, a soul with a purpose and love in your heart and passion and fire in your veins. And you are not ugly and you are not insignificant. Remember that. Remember where you came from. Remember who you are. That's what Pluto says. Bones, rotting flesh, shedding skin, everything. Stunning. That's what Pluto gives. Pluto retrograde. So, when the internet and those accounts start speaking their shit and trying to scare you, step up into your power and say, this doesn't exist. This isn't real. I'm better than that. I'm actually working my power. On Monday, Jess and the rest of our tribe got together and we talked about this. And I don't want to let the voice of other human beings determine and decipher and diminish my power, because they need validation and they need clicks and they need to feel significant. On a positive note, on the 20th, Sun moves into Taurus. If they're honestly, you guys, the universe, the cosmos is too good to us, because the Sun moving through Taurus is like a big heated blanket wrapped around your shoulders. If you don't have a heated blanket, or if you don't have a security blanket or something that comforts you, whether it be a sofa or mashed potatoes and corn and mac and cheese, whatever it is that makes you feel good, that or all the above, bring it into your life. The 20th. The 20th, make that your day to take care of yourself, to comfort yourself, to feel good. It's important. It's important. Don't go crazy with spending. Taurus is, it will put down the right amount of money. invest itself, but it's not that serious. You don't have to go crazy with it. Or if you just take care of yourself, take long baths, put oils on your body. Okay. Put oils on your body, put body butters on your body, rub your scalp. Slow cook a meal. Stop rushing through your meals. Slow cook them. That's what I do. I don't rush through my meals. In fact, it's easier not to rush through making food. I work from home, so I'll have like food sitting on the stove, slow cooking all day, and a dinner prepared for me and my man, or me. I even make Franklin's food, my dog, and I slow cook all of it because our bodies need to be nourished. Sun in Taurus, while we're going through all of this other transits and sitting back, letting Saturn restructure, letting Pluto comfort ourselves and learn about ourselves and heal ourselves, Sun moving through Taurus says, cool, now give yourself luxury, give yourself niceness, give yourself beauty, rub it into your skin. That's what works for me. That's why I work my magic through oils, because they work, and fire and earth mostly. And I love the everyday process of taking care of my skin. Like, I just love it. That's why I glow. But yeah, Sun in Taurus, even as, you know, this stuff is happening, it's for good. It's a comfort blanket. It's to ease your mind. It's to make you feel good. It's to make you feel like a goddess, a queen. You are, after all. Remember that. King and queen. On the 18th, Sun is going to be sitting directly on top of Uranus, exact. The 18th, be really aware of like abrupt changes. You're going to feel it like a lightning bolt. Like, ugh, I can't be here anymore. I hate it here. I don't like it. I don't like you. You disrespected me for the last time, Joanne. Give me back my stapler, Joanne. I used to work in nonprofit, and I felt like I was always having to protect and look out for my stapler and my tape dispenser. Does the company not provide them for free? Why do you need mine? Anyways, I'm so glad that that's not my life anymore. Anyways, yes, so there's that. On the 17th, Venus sitting opposite, opposing, Venus sitting opposite Jupiter can make us lazy, can make us indulge. If you must, if you feel like it, there's nothing wrong with it, but just don't get crazy with it because, again, Saturn is going to be revealing to us some weak spots. So let's say you have a weak gallbladder or whatever, and you're like, oh, I'll do my diet next week. Let me go ahead and order McDonald's off of Postmates. Nothing against McDonald's. Their fries are fire to me. I love it. Yes, I get French fries delivered to my apartment. Yes, I do. No judgments though. This is a sacred spot. If I don't judge you, you don't judge me. I love McDonald's French fries. I just do. I'm not proud of it. Now, honestly, you guys, I love French fries. I love French fries. I don't know what it is. Potatoes in general, but French fries. That's not the point. The point is that Venus sitting opposite Jupiter creates this need to be lazy and to indulge. And Saturn, again, is saying, like, look, if there's a weak spot and if you haven't been taking care of this, I'm gonna bring it to your attention. That weak spot is going to be happening on the 17th, obviously when Saturn goes retrograde and when Venus and Jupiter. Also, if you are prone to overspend, if you're prone to forget to pay your bills, if you are prone to whatever, like, not clean up, then Saturn retrograde says, I need you to be more responsible. I need you to stop doing this, okay? You're going to lose your discount for your discounted car payment or cell phone bill. Stop taking so long. You're going to lose an investor. You're going to lose money, okay? So if there's one day to look out for, it's the 17th. On the flip side, if you have been doing a lot lately and like dominating it and just working really hard, allow yourself to be a lazy bum. I don't like that choice of a word, bum, but allow yourself to be lazy. Allow yourself to indulge. Allow yourself to binge watch Real Housewives of Potomac. Allow yourself to binge watch Naked and Afraid on Discovery. My favorite show right now. I have 2 more minutes. Venus is going to be trine Pluto. This is another time, another aspect to work to bring in love. Make it easy, make it effortless. Bring in your passions. If relationships are something that you're focusing on, whether you're in a relationship or single, if you're in a relationship, focus on connecting with your partner intimately and just enjoying each other. BSB Bambi said, I got the carpet cleaner coming tomorrow. I'll be scrubbing tonight and up through then, so I'll definitely give myself some couch time after that. Yes. So you're working it right. That's so perfect. All right, my loves. I have full videos about Saturn retrograde up on the YouTube channel. I have this week's forecast up on BehatiLife YouTube channel. I have other things up on BehatiLife YouTube channel that I feel like I just did, but I can't remember off the top of my head. I have a Pluto retrograde video coming, and also this video chat will be saved. If it's not saved, it's because my phone rejected me like it did last time. I don't know if that was Mercury retrograde or the fact that I have so many selfies. Either way, it didn't save. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Everything will be posted there. If you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, definitely do that because I'm posting there all the time. For those of you guys that are subscribed, you're seeing how active I have been on there lately. For those of you guys who are waiting on custom orders, there is a new email for you. It is info@BehatiLife.com. Definitely focus on that. BehatiLife@gmail.com is completely swamped. DMs are good, but don't expect me to respond to them all the time. It's impossible for me at this rate, at this level. I hate that that's the case, but it is the case. I do my best to, but it's just email me. Email me. It's always better. No comments, emails, because they get slipped through and the system, the algorithm is weird and wonky. I love you. I love you. I love you. I feel your love. I feel it. Thank you. We'll talk soon.